Anna, do you have some time to chat right now? I've got some very important stuff to talk with you about. Hello, Katie. Sure, we can talk. It is something really important, like I said, but it will be a little hard for me to say to you. That's fine. What do you have for me? Soon, your brother and I are going to have our wedding reception, right? The one we've been planning on for the past year now. That's what I've heard. I'm really looking forward to it. Well, on that day, do you mind not coming to the wedding after all? What? Why don't you want me coming to your guys' wedding? This is going to be my brother's wedding. You have to know that I'm coming to that wedding no matter what to see him. And I totally understand that you want to be there to support him, but this time isn't going to be just your average wedding. What do you mean by that? How isn't it going to be average? This wedding is going to be used for one thing, and one thing in particular. The merging of both my dad's company with the company that Justin's been managing. So this is a very, very important wedding for all of us. Especially for someone like me, who is the wife of a CEO now. And all the people that will be coming are huge deals in the business world, much like celebrities. I want this wedding to be based around that event in particular, and make sure that all those other businessmen and women are shown just how amazing my dad's and your brother's companies are. So to be honest with you, people that don't have anything to do with all this important business work aren't coming. You think I don't have anything to do with any of that? I'm Justin's sister. If anything, I have more business being there than those people wanting to talk business. If this was a normal wedding, then yes. It hurts me to have to sit here telling you about all this as well. But listen, this wedding is about business more than it's about family. We have a lot to show for and can't have those with no relation to it getting in our way. If you really care about your brother and his future, then you'll make sure to stay away from this wedding. All right? I'm sure you can do that for us, right? As his wife, I can't be having our images made look bad, and the wedding is the one event where you can really show off to all those that are watching. And there will be a lot of very influential people watching. So please stay away for your brother's company's sake, for your brother's sake. This is a huge occasion for your brother, after all. I happen to understand business talk very well, though, and know that this wedding is going to mean a lot. I've been around it all my life. But I feel you having something as important as that to you guys going on during your wedding is a big no-no. Also, when you said there are a bunch of celebrity-like business people coming to the wedding, those happen to be people invited by my side of the family. I happen to be on good terms with a lot of them as well and would consider them all good friends. Not only do I happen to view them as friends, though, but family as well, actually, due to us all being just that close to one another. So there's no way I can stay away from this wedding. If anything, me not being there would do worse for the wedding than better. Well, whatever then. There is still some time before the wedding date, so maybe you'll have a change of mind before then. Just let me know, all right? I have to make sure I have my things in order, and some of those things revolve around you staying away from our wedding. No, I will not be changing my mind at all on this one, Katie. Did you really come here? Congratulations on your marriage today. And had you not come here today, I would have actually believed that your feelings towards me were true. I thought I told you to stay away from this wedding, yet here you are walking around here just hours before it's going to start. You are really such a rude woman. Asking me over and over again to not come to this wedding today as though I'd ever say yes to that? Why have you been trying so hard to keep me away from this wedding today? You know, the one where all my family and friends are present at? When you take a good look around this place, you don't have any ideas why? Well, I have to say, this is one gorgeous-looking wedding you have here. I can tell you put a lot of time and money into it for sure. I'm so happy to hear from you that you can see just how much time and effort went into it. And let's not forget about how much a wedding like this might cost. And? What are you trying to tell me here? I've told you before that today is a very important day to me and my husband, as it's the day he'll be merging with my dad's company. I'm aware of that. But that happens to be between my brother's company and your father's company, right? I don't really see where you come into it, as though you're going to be playing any part in the talks they have. Will this wedding really affect the outlook on that deal they're talking about? Because to me, I don't think it will. You are such an idiot, aren't you? The reason I've made sure that this wedding is looking this spectacular is because today is so big of a day for us that it needs to look perfect. If I were to have made this wedding into your average little countryside wedding, then there would be repercussions from that. Both my dad and my husband would blame me for making them both look bad. And they might have to end up calling their merger off after that. I'm the wife of a CEO now and have a duty to support my husband in every way possible. I'm sure you would have no idea of that, though, since you're nothing more than his sister. Well, one could say that. There are going to be a lot of people coming to the wedding today. I've already told you how important this wedding is for us plenty of times now, yet you still crawled in here. Excuse me, but can you please explain to me why it's such a bad thing for me to be here? You keep going on about how important this wedding is for you and my brother, but you have still not told me why you're singling me out and want me gone. All right, sure. Let me tell it to you straight. And once you've listened to my explanation, go home. Well, that depends on the reason you give me. I'm not just going to leave if that reason is beyond stupid or something. This has been something on my mind for a while now, but I don't ever remember inviting someone with that disgusting of a scar on their face to my wedding. Huh? You're talking about my scar? Well, there isn't anyone else here with that kind of a nasty scar, right? No matter how much I try and make up for you being here, you will always stick out like a sore thumb. And that's going to ruin everything. You're terrible. And that's why I didn't ever want to tell you that before. But you were being a total butthead about it, so I had to tell you the truth. I wanted a reason from you, but I never thought that out of all the reasons you could give me, that would be the one. So you've been looking at me, thinking of me in that way then? It's not only me who's disgusted by you. Everyone thinks the exact same thing while looking at your face. It's just nobody ever wants to say anything. So can you please leave for me now? I want this grotesque-looking monster out of my wedding right now.
Anna, have you made it to the wedding yet?
Hi, Justin.
I'm so happy to have finally made it to this day. And I'm glad to know that all my family will be here to support me.
Yeah. Well, how have things been going for you?
Well, I have been really busy all morning getting ready for today, and so I haven't had enough downtime to just take a moment to relax. So, I'm taking a bit now to talk with you. And, well, I haven't been able to see you here yet, so I thought I'd give you a text.
I mean, you can talk to me whenever, right? You can wait until after the ceremony and such is finished.
But, you know that today is a very special day for me. However, I haven't told you all the facts about it just yet.
What haven't you told me?
Well, this is all going to be soft things. About how thankful I am for having you as my sister.
You're thankful for me? But I've always been wanting to say how thankful I am for you. Both of our parents ended up passing away while we were still young, and so you've played a huge role in my life, like you were my third parent. You did everything for me, like Mom and Dad were doing for me before. And, well, I feel that not all the time we spent together were good times. I might have been a jerk to you occasionally, but...
Well, I feel differently about that. The only reason I was able to take the shoes of both Mom and Dad after their passing is because you were there. And it wasn't just when I was around you, but outside of the family as well. If it weren't for you being my little sister, I would not have a company of my own going so smoothly today. That is why I'm so thankful that you're my little sister, Anna.
But I feel the same thing towards you. Hey, can I ask you something really quick?
Sure. Go ahead.
No matter what I do, will you always be there to support and cheer for me?
Absolutely. I will always be with you. On your side, no matter what it is you're doing. And you know that after today, you and I will be going to New York City. our dreams will finally come true. And once we're there, we'll continue to support one another and be happy, right?
Right. Well, since I have your support, there is something I'd really like you to see. Do you mind?
Sure. What do you have for me?
Katie, I am not going to stick around for the wedding and will instead be going home. Oh, how wonderful! I am so glad you've finally come around to understanding my point of view in all this. That's a huge help. I see. Well, I'm glad to see that you're happy about this. I said a lot of things that you probably didn't like, right? But I was just being open and honest with you about them. I think now, after learning the truth about yourself, you should be more careful about the life you want to live. Sure. Thank you for telling me those things. Now, before you have your wedding, could I ask you one more question? Sure. Why not? I am really busy right now, so please make it quick for me. I'll do my best. And thank you. Can you tell me what you think of my brother? To me, he's the only member of my close family that I have left. And to me, he is the number one person in this world that I respect, and that respect for him will never go away. So tell me, Katie, what do you yourself think of my brother? I think the same things as you. I very much respect Justin in a lot of ways. And I love him so very much, but let's be honest, he makes for one heck of a wallet for me. Wallet? That's right. In reality, all he is to me is my wallet. He's my magic wallet, where I can ask it whatever I want and it will magically make it appear for me. I knew it. You are only after his money. Well, of course I am. I'm the wife of a CEO now. And the only reason I'd want to be around him is if he has the money to keep me around. And from what I know about Justin, he makes more than enough money to keep me happy for the rest of my life. But when it comes to his face, it's not at all the kind of face I like. I've heard from my brother a few times now about how you love to go on reckless spending sprees with all his money. But I guess you're a lot worse than I first imagined. You have no right to be complaining about me. I'm being nice by giving him a nice and beautiful wife. So you both should be thankful that I came to his side. All right then. Thank you for your time. Hey, if you don't mind me saying all those things to you, then you can let me talk to you a lot more often from now on. No, thank you. Have you already left the wedding? I'm on my way out right now. Stop trying to rush me so much when I have a few things I need to attend to. Is that so? I would like you to make sure that you stay out of sight of all the guests here today, as to not make them sick to their stomachs. I'm well aware of that. And by the way, I happen to have one more thing that I'd like to tell you. What could that be? This is about something that'll happen after the wedding. You and I will be sister-in-laws then. And, well, I don't want you ever talking to me again. Or coming near me, or even my husband. Why? We'll both be family, and you'll be with my brother. But listen to this, you are only being spoiled by your older brother, right? You've been living off the money that he's been making all your life, right? That's not true at all. I have been earning all the money I use by myself. But after this wedding, I'm not sure what you might be up to with him. Are you trying to keep me away from him in order to protect all the money he has and hoard it all for yourself? That's spot on. And if I ever do see or hear about you coming around my family at all, I'll make sure you have something to be scared about. Having your disgusting face around us at any moment could taint the image that both Justin and my dad's company have made for us. You can say and ask for that all you'd like, but I think my brother will still want to meet with me. Oh, I don't think so. He's going to listen to everything I say. All I have to tell him is to never see you again, and he will do just that. At this point, you might as well call this cutting ties, right? Is that right? So what are you going to do? Do you want me to go ask your brother, who you respect so much, to cut ties to you? No, you won't have to do that. I'm already on board with you and no longer want to see you ever again either. You and I will never see one another again. That better be a promise. Make sure to never break that promise, okay? You, where are you right now? What was that? I'm on my way home right now. I see. And none of the other guests here know about this, right? Why are you asking me that? Well, the wedding is supposed to be starting pretty soon now, but everyone from your side of the family and friends hasn't shown up yet. I'm just wondering if maybe they all had a mix-up and went to another location? I don't think that's the case here. I just happened to talk to someone I know that works at that reception hall before heading out. Then why has nobody shown up yet that your brother invited? Perhaps that could mean they all went back home instead of coming to see the wedding. Huh? What are you trying to say here? Why would they all go home? The wedding is only just about to start. Well, I happened to explain to all of them the reason why I wouldn't be staying for the wedding. I didn't want to just walk out of there without letting everyone I care about know. They would have started to worry about me, and I didn't want that for them. So on my way out, while a lot of the guests were gathered at the front of the building, I told them what you said about me and what you said about my brother. And as I was telling them all, the expression on their faces became more and more frustrated. I guess they all turned around and went home at that point. No freaking way! You are the reason they all left? Why would you do something like that to me and my wedding? I just had to make sure they all knew the reason why I was choosing to go home. Huh? Are you a brain-dead idiot? Of course you are. All you've done now is made me look worse because all of them won't be showing up here. Well, if you didn't want to look bad, then why would you do things that are obviously horrible things? I'm not messing around here. I want you to call all of those people and tell them to come back here right now. Tell them everything you said about me was a lie and that they can come back and enjoy the wedding. And why should I have to do something like that for you? I never lied about anything. If anything, I'd be lying to them about lying. Well, if nothing is done about this now, my wedding is going to become a real mess. Is that what you want to happen to me? I told you so many times now that today there is going to be a huge meeting about the merger at this wedding. What you're doing right now is going to hurt your respected brother in so many ways. This has nothing to do with what's supposed to be happening at your wedding. This is how everyone thinks of you now after learning about the real kind of garbage you are. The reason for all of this is you. All right. So you're going to be like that now. Well, we'll see what happens next. But don't come crying to me over it. Are you planning to do something to me? Well, your brother happens to be the groom for this wedding, correct? I'm going to make sure that he's made aware of why all this has happened today. And then he'll have nobody else to be upset with but you. I'll tell him all about how you set this up and how you've been the one wanting to ruin his wedding. When he hears about that, he's going to be both heartbroken and furious. But I have to tell him, so I hope the best for you after today. Is that what you're planning to do now? Well, go right ahead then. What is this? Why aren't you freaking out? Like I said to you, this has nothing to do with your wedding or anything like that, and I was never trying to ruin it by being there. Huh. Say whatever you want. I'm going to tell Justin the truth, and we'll see if he really believes all that bullcrap you keep saying. Justin, huge problem.
Katie? What is it?
All of the family and friends that you invited to be here today have all gone home.
What do you mean?
This is about your little sister. She went around to all your guests and started to tell them these horrible lies about me. And they all started to believe her, and that's what sent them all away from here.
Why would Anna ever do something like that on the day of my wedding?
That witch, she doesn't like the idea of you becoming my husband for good, and she doesn't want to see me take you. So she decided the best way to stop that from happening was to ruin our wedding for good. I cannot believe that witch.
I'm sorry, but I don't think my sister would ever go through with ruining this wedding. For a petty reason like that.
I'm telling you the truth. That witch has always had things against me, and has been saying terrible things to me ever since her and I first met. And now that I've really began to think about it, she's been trying to drive me away from you. She's a legit monster, Justin. I do not want to become family with something like that.
I think you might be onto something.
Justin, you understand me, right?
I do. I do very much, actually. I wouldn't want to become family with a monster like you either. And I'm not going to.
What? A monster? Like me?
That's right. You're the monster. You've been saying horrible things about my little sister this whole time, to the point that not even I can forgive you for it anymore.
I have not been saying horrible things to her.
You haven't been? But I was shown all the text messages you have been sending Anna by her up to today. And from the looks of it, you have been verbally harassing her. Especially about the scar on her face. Do you have any idea how much that scar has mentally scarred her all her life? I'm sure you don't. Because if you really knew, then you would have never said the things that you said to her today about it. She got that scar to her face back when my family got into a car accident that ended up killing both my parents. You remember me telling you all about this, right? Well, it wasn't just the both of my parents who lost something in that car crash. Anna did too, although it wasn't her life. She had a large gash slashed across her face by a piece of metal and had to spend weeks in the hospital having it treated. But even after those weeks in there, it didn't heal up the best it could have, and she was left with that scar, reminding her of her parents' death and reminding her of the crash. You've really done it now, Katie.
Wait. Justin, settle down for me.
In order to help take care of that scar on her face through plastic surgery, it would cost an arm and a leg. And the only doctor confident enough in helping perform that surgery is all the way in New York City, and rarely has any openings. That's why I've been spending years saving up money for her, and we've been waiting to get a reply from the doctor about his next opening for us. And the plan for us was, after this wedding was over with, her and I would head over there and get the surgery she's been wanting. Do you have any freaking idea how long my sister and I have been waiting for this day? Years! We have been waiting years for both me to get the money she needs for that treatment, and for the doctor to tell us when to come out there and get the surgery Anna needs.
I can see it's been rough on you both. I can understand that.
Shut the hell up. You were just making fun of her scar only a few hours ago. I am not going to let you get away with that kind of childish behavior. You and I are getting divorced.
You're joking, right? Wait a second. What is going to happen to the wedding then?
We're canceling the wedding. And that whole meeting about the merger with your dad's company is off. I'm taking all I said before back, and I no longer want to have anything to do with you or your family. Don't even bother trying to get in touch with me anymore after this. I'm going to have my lawyer handle all of this. So if you have something you want to say to me, tell it to him. He'll make sure to pass it on to me.
Justin, wait. Please listen to what I have to say. I don't want to get a divorce already. Why would you do this to me? Now your brother and I are going to get a divorce because of you.
Why are you talking to me about this?
Because he's not listening to me anymore and won't even read my texts. I only have you to talk to now, and you're the one to blame.
I have nothing to do with what happened here. And that divorce is between you and your husband only.
Well, I want to talk to you about this and have you make things right with him. If you're able to forgive me, then maybe he'll start to listen to me again and we can still have this wedding.
No, thank you. I don't want things like you being married to my brother either, so I'm all in on this divorce.
Is this because I called him my wallet or something? That was just a joke.
But after seeing the way you've started to act and freak out, I'm not sure it was a joke. If my brother is saying you are both getting a divorce, then the only thing left that you can do is help make the divorce go by easier. And from what I've heard, he's expecting that you will be paying for this whole wedding's cancellation fees.
Huh? Why would I have to pay for it?
Well, it's quite simple. You were the one that set this wedding aflame, and then you continued to fan said flame until the wedding was no more. Since you're the one responsible for all of it, you have to be the one to pay up. That's just how things work in this world.
But
But I put my heart into setting this wedding up to make it my dream wedding. How much would I have to pay for it being canceled? Well, why don't you go and ask the wedding director that question? Are you just going to leave me here to rot away and die? Why are you trying to make it look as though you're a victim to all this as well? Had you just been a decent human being about all of this, maybe your wedding wouldn't have been ruined by yourself, and maybe you wouldn't be losing your husband. In other words, this is what you get for being a monster. Well, whatever, I don't care. We're getting a divorce now, right? Well, if that's really going to happen, then there's no problem with that to me. And why do you think that? Well, if you think about it, the only reason I ever wanted to be married to that idiot in the first place was for his money. There are plenty of other rich men in this world I can marry, so I don't need to be with Justin. Also, my family is just as rich as he is, so I can live without him. And now that I'm really thinking about it, I'm kind of glad I don't have to marry a horse-faced looking loser like him for his money. Is that right? Well, that just means that this whole divorce process will go a lot smoother now since both parties are agreeing to the divorce. Yep. I'm so on board with the divorce now that I'll go out myself and get the papers all filled out and signed for Justin. That would help us out so much. And it's not like I'll regret any of this because I still have the money from my dad. I also have the body of my mom, so I'm practically like a model. I'll find myself another man right after this divorce who has loads of money and marry him instead. I really am wondering why I ever chose to marry such an ugly man like your brother now. My eyes have been opened wide now, and I feel like a completely changed person. So this means you'll be paying for the canceled wedding as well then, right? Sure, I can pay it all off. I'll just ask my dad to pay for it, and he'll do just that. You really think that your dad has that kind of money just sitting around, though? Excuse me? What the hell are you saying? My dad is the CEO of his own company. I told you that already. Have you heard anything about Mr. Jefferson's situation? About what's been going on with him at all? Huh? Who's that? That happens to be the lawyer who's been helping both my brother and your dad out with their company merger. I don't like to dabble in that sort of stuff, so I'm not aware. I can see that. Well, then allow me to tell you what's happened there. What are you going on about? Your dad's company is on its way to becoming a bankrupt company. Huh? If you go ahead and take a look at it yourself, you'd understand. And if you are around your dad right now, you could just go and ask him about it yourself, and he'd be able to confirm that. Don't make up such stupid lies as that. Why the hell would my dad want to have your brother's company merge with his if it was about to become bankrupt? Well, your dad and Justin had a meeting talking about how my brother's company would take your dad's company over in order to keep it from going bankrupt. Of course, your dad was so happy about this news and said yes to my brother. Your dad would be able to take his failing company and hand it over to my brother without having to pay for any damages. But all those talks have been canceled. Then this means my dad doesn't have a lot of money? Correct. And that's why I'm a little skeptical about you actually being able to pay off the wedding's cancellation fees. Well, then what the hell should I do? Well, the only option you have is to make money yourself and find a way to pay off all those fees. That's how things like that are normally handled, you child. No way. I have never worked a day in my life. Well, that's no excuse for not finding yourself a job now. Let me say that no matter how many people you try and tell something like that to at your age, they're going to laugh in your face and call you a loser. You're 27 years old now, right? You are responsible for yourself now, so good luck becoming an actual adult in the next few days. Please find some way to get your brother to go through with taking on my dad's company in the merger. Please, 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 please. I have no reason to ask him to do that. If you're so afraid of not having any money to pay off those cancellation fees, go and ask Justin yourself. I'm sure he's not going to bother listening to you anymore, but it could always be worth a shot, right? Hey, please don't leave me here like this. I don't want to deal with all of this alone.
I finally finished going through all the paperwork to have the wedding canceled.
Is that right? Then that means you'll be coming home now, right?
Yeah, I think so. Anna, I'm sorry. This has caused a lot of heartache for you, I'm sure.
No worries. You don't have to apologize for any of what's happened today.
But I was the one that wanted to get married to that monster. So this was all on me in some way.
But even if you see it that way, you never went through with the wedding, right? And that's because you've been thinking about me. I'm sure you feel really badly about all this, but you've done so much for me now that I could care less about what happened. Because you've done everything to make sure I know you care about me. Like all that money you've been saving up for the surgery, right? So please, do not apologize for any of this.
All right. Okay then.
But just make sure that from now on you do a better job at figuring someone out before you take any big steps with them. If you try and marry someone like Katie again, you might end up on the short end of the stick.
I know exactly what you're talking about. I promise that from now on, I'll be more careful with the people I choose.
With the merger from my brother's company and Katie's dad's company becoming a bust, her dad's company went bankrupt. Katie's dad had tried to talk Justin back into taking his company, but Justin told him that he could no longer stand the thought of working with his family, considering he raised such a terrible woman as his daughter. After letting her dad know that, he never tried bothering Justin about the merger again. Along with her dad's company going under, Katie was charged with having to pay for the whole wedding's cancellation fees, and because of that, her life took a turn for the worst. Since she was in big trouble, she started to do the most insane things, like going to parties where she knew people with lots of money would gather. But a lot of those people happen to talk a lot of business themselves and are well aware of what happened that caused the merger between her dad's company and Justin's company to fall through. And since Katie was the reason for all of it, they knew who she was and the bad news that surrounded her. Because of that, she wasn't able to find anyone who was willing to talk with her, and now she's given up going to any more parties. But this wasn't the end of her insane actions in order to get some kind of money from anyone, and so she started to go online begging for money. She would use all her social media accounts to talk about how she needed someone to be her sugar daddy and that she'd do anything they asked her to do in exchange. But this would end up not turning out so well for her either, as most of the men that would contact her didn't have the kind of money she wanted and would ask her to do some of the most ridiculous things for them. She never did end up going with any of those men and instead shut down all her accounts as those creepy men just kept coming and coming. In the end, Katie tried getting Justin to come back to her, but my brother knows better than to fall for that crap, and never once responded to any of her cries for help. As of right now, Katie's been left with ties being cut to both her parents and no friends around her to help her out, forcing her to work all day long in an attempt to make some kind of money to pay off those fees. And when it comes to the type of job she's doing, let's just say it has something to do with her going online and showing herself off. When it comes to Justin and myself, it took us a few days to get over what had happened and to let it all sink in. But once we were both feeling 100% again and Justin had settled the divorce, we took off to New York, where I should be getting that surgery in a few more days. And let me tell you, I am so excited for that. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story.